This is not a drill, someone has been watching you closely. There's a date and time coming up that you must avoid, because what's planned isn't just suspicious, it's spiritually dangerous. They're expecting you to deliver something, but you never agreed to it. You're being pulled into something without your consent. Don't ignore the signs. This message is your warning, your protection, and your chance to break free from what's being set up around you. Urgent message from Jesus Christ. Someone is tracking. You don't go anywhere on this date and time coming they want you to deliver. This message. There are moments when Jesus Christ speaks so clearly, so urgently that his voice pierces through all the noise of life. This is one of those moments. Right now he is calling out to you with a message that cannot be ignored. The Lord sees all, knows all, and his eyes are on you. Someone has been tracking you, watching your steps, and now he is asking you to stop, listen, and obey. Don't go anywhere on the specific date and time coming. You have a divine mission and the enemy is at work to distract, confuse, and possibly derail you from the purpose that God has placed in your heart. This is not a message of fear but a message of divine protection. The Lord is warning you because he loves you and has a great plan for your life. Jesus Christ knows that someone, whether in the physical or spiritual realm, has been observing your life, closely tracking your movements and planning to act on a specific date and time. The truth is their motives might be unclear to you but not to the Lord. What you need to understand is this: God is giving you a clear instruction to not move on that day, to not act rashly, and to stay where you are. There's a reason someone is watching you closely, but the eyes of the Almighty are upon you even more closely. He is preparing you, guarding you, and now asking you to heed his voice. The question is, will you trust him with this divine message? The spiritual battle forces at work. Before we dive into the specifics of this message, it's important to understand the bigger picture. We are in the midst of a spiritual battle, one that you may not always see but is real. Nonetheless, Ephesians 6 verse 12 reminds us that our struggle is not against flesh and blood but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. What you are facing right now is not just a matter of the physical world. There are spiritual forces at work around you, trying to influence your path and your decisions. Jesus Christ is intervening in your life at this moment because he knows that someone is tracking your movements, both physically and spiritually. This person, or even a spiritual entity, is observing you, plotting your course, and possibly planning to interfere with what God has in store for you. They are not just interested in your physical location, they are interested in the divine assignment God has given you. They want to stop you from delivering this message, but God will not allow that to happen if you follow his direction. The Lord sees all that is happening behind the scenes. He knows the traps that are being set, the distractions that are being planned, and the potential dangers that lie ahead. But here's the good news: God's protection is greater than any scheme of the enemy. He is shielding you from harm and positioning you exactly where you need to be. Why you must not go anywhere where on this specific date. You might be wondering, why is it so important that I stay put on this specific date? Why is God warning me so strongly? The answer lies in the spiritual nature of the situation. There are certain times and dates in our lives where significant Events are set to occur divine. Appointments, spiritual breakthroughs. Or even moments of intense spiritual warfare. The date that God is warning you about is one of those moments. The enemy has marked this date for a reason. They know that if they can get you to move, to act impulsively, or to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, they can interfere with God's plan for your life. But God in His infinite wisdom is giving you a heads up. He is telling you, stay where you are. Do not go anywhere on this specific day at this specific time. Jesus Christ is calling you to obedience. Sometimes His instructions may seem mysterious or unclear in the moment, but they are always for your protection and for the fulfillment of His divine purposes. This is a test of your faith. Will you trust Him even if you don't fully understand the reasoning behind His warning? The importance of delivering this message. There is more at play here than just a warning about being tracked. God has placed a message in your heart, a message that is meant to be delivered. The enemy knows this, which is why they are tracking your movements. They want to prevent you from delivering what God has entrusted to you. But here's the truth: no plan of the enemy can succeed if you are obedient to God. This message could be a word of encouragement, a revelation, or even a testimony of God's goodness and faithfulness. Whatever it is, this message is powerful, and it has the potential to change lives. That's why it's so important that you listen to God's instructions right now. If you move out of step with God, if you disregard His warning and go where you shouldn't on that specific date and time, you could miss the opportunity to deliver this life-changing message. God has chosen you as His messenger. You have been entrusted with something precious, a word from the Lord that needs to be shared with others. Don't let the enemy's plans distract you from this mission. Stay where God has placed you, and at the appointed time you will deliver this message. The enemy's tactics, distraction and deception. Let's take a moment to consider the tactics of the enemy. Satan is the master of deception. He knows how to create confusion, how to plant doubts, and how to make you question whether you're really hearing from God. He will use people, circumstances, and even your own thoughts to try to derail you from God's path. One of the most common tactics the enemy uses is distraction. He wants to get you so focused on the wrong things that you lose sight of what's truly important by tracking your movements, both physically and spiritually. The enemy is hoping to find an opportunity to distract you at a critical moment. That's why God is telling you, don't go anywhere on that specific date. The enemy is planning something for that day, but God is protecting you by giving you this warning in advance. Another tactic the enemy uses is fear. He may try to make you afraid of the message God has placed in your heart. He may whisper lies into your mind, telling you that you're not qualified, that no one will listen, or that you're not capable of delivering this message. But remember what Jesus said in John 10:27, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. You are His sheep, and you know His voice. When you hear the voice of Jesus, you can trust Him. How to respond to this divine warning now that you've received this urgent message? The question is, how will you respond? God has given you clear instructions. Do not go anywhere on that specific date and time. Stay where you are and prepare to deliver the message He has given you. Here are some steps you can take to ensure that you are walking in obedience To God's will one pray for clarity. Before anything else, take this matter to God in prayer. Ask Him to reveal the specifics of this situation to you. Ask for wisdom, discernment, and clarity. God is not a God of confusion. If He is telling you to stay put on a certain date, He will make it clear to you why that is necessary. Pray for protection over your life, your mind, and your heart. Ask God to shield you from any distractions, deceptions, or attacks from the enemy. Pray that you will have the courage and strength to obey His instructions even if they don't make sense in the natural. 2. Prepare yourself spiritually. The fact that the enemy is tracking you means that something significant is happening in the spiritual realm. You are a threat to the enemy's plans, which is why he is watching you so closely. But this is also a sign that you are walking in God's purpose. Take this time to prepare yourself spiritually for the mission ahead. Spend time in God's Word. Meditate on His promises. Surround yourself with worship and prayer. Equip yourself with the full armor of God. Ephesians 6:10-18, so that you are ready to stand firm when the enemy attacks. This is a spiritual battle and you must be spiritually prepared. 3. Trust God's timing. One of the most important aspects of this message is the timing. God is warning you about a specific date and time because He knows what the enemy is planning. Trust His timing even if you feel anxious or impatient. Know that God's timing is perfect. He will reveal to you when it is time to deliver the message and when it is time to stay put. Don't rush ahead of God. Don't let the enemy's plans cause you to act impulsively. Trust that God's timing is better than your own. He sees the bigger picture and He is orchestrating everything for your good. For be ready to deliver the message when the time comes. God will open the door for you to deliver the message He has placed in your heart. This could be a word of encouragement, a prophetic word, a testimony, or even a revelation that God has given you. Be ready to deliver it boldly and with confidence. Don't let fear hold you back. The message you carry is powerful because it comes from God. It has the potential to change lives, to bring hope, and to glorify God. Be faithful to the assignment God has given you and trust that He will give you the words to speak when the time comes. In conclusion, God's divine protection and purpose for you. This message from Jesus Christ is urgent and clear. Someone is tracking you. Don't go anywhere on this specific date and time coming. The Lord is giving you this warning to protect you, to guide you, and to ensure that you are walking in His perfect will. The enemy may be watching you, but God's eyes are on you even more closely. He is your shield, your protector, and your guide. Trust in Him. Follow His instructions. Stay where you are when He tells you to, and when the time comes, be ready to deliver the message He has placed in your heart. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. The plans of the enemy will not succeed if you remain obedient to God. This is not a message to ignore. God is serious about protecting you and ensuring that His purpose for your life is fulfilled. He loves you deeply and His plans for you are good. Listen to His voice, follow His guidance, and walk confidently in the protection of the Almighty God. You were never meant to walk into that trap. This was your warning, and your way out. Someone is tracking, watching, and planning, but heaven is exposing it now for your protection If this message stirred your spirit, don't stay silent. Like, share, comment, I cancel every hidden plan, and subscribe to stay covered and connected to divine guidance. Your awareness is your armor. Stay alert, stay prayerful, and stay protected.